Right, here's some of the modifications I've done in my 2011 Rubicon JK when I got it a couple years ago. Completely stock, and it had never really been used as a Jeep or a four-wheeler. First thing I did was put these bumpers on aftermarket, and that made a huge difference right away. Something easy to do. It really increases your approach and departure angles, makes it look great. That was the very first thing I did. Next thing I did was lift this thing up and put a old man Emu lift on it, 2.5 inch, and wow, what a difference. The suspension right away. That was something that was well worth the time. The other thing I have on this, recently put on, was a Barricade 9,500 pound winch, and it's just nice to have that peace of mind. I've used it a couple times. It's absolutely fine for what I need, and it's not going to break the bank. Off-road lighting, I put the Raxium 13-inch light bar on there in combination with the two 3-inch square LEDs. Gives you about 7,000 lumens, and yeah, like the way it looks better than the larger light bars. That's just a personal thing. And one of the other things I did to the front end here, as you can see, is that black grill overlay. It has industrial two-side tape on it. You just stick it right onto your existing grill, take the Jeep emblem off, and put it back on. Pretty easy. Love the way it looks with silver and black Rubicon. I was having issues with the transmission oil overheating, so I installed this Mishimoto transmission oil cooler. I have a video on the install if you're interested in that, and that's really made a difference, probably running about 30 to 40 degrees cooler, and there too, peace of mind. It's going to help the transmission. Just ended up getting these 35s. I was running 33s on here, and you can see I was out testing them out, four-wheeling. It's great with the 2.5 inch lift and these 35s. And these Hurricane flat fender flares made by Rugged Ridge gave me the clearance that I needed with the 2.5 inch lift and these 35s. No problem. You can run them, turn them lock to lock, no issues, no rubbing. And for this setup that I have, the 35s on here are just perfect. Still makes a really great daily driver. No issues on performance or anything like that. Of course, I have a Super Chips trail dash that you recalibrate the tire size, which is really critical for the odometer and the speedometer, and makes it, your shift points change, makes it shift smoother and more horsepower. I'm going to do a review on that separately. But that was one of the best mods that I did to this Jeep. And the other thing that I did was get rid of the stock wheels, 17 inch, and went down a size with 16 for a couple of reasons. To give you a little more clearance, and also it gives you more sidewall, which I like when you're off-road, when you air down your tires. So overall, I think I really love the way this is set up. Now, of course, there's always new mods to do. Next thing I do have is front skid plate coming in. I'll probably put some more armor underneath. I've got rock sliders on here by Smitty Built. And the rack I just recently put on too, which is great. Wife and I love to go camping, and having that extra space with 3 dogs especially is really awesome. One thing I really liked about this Serco rack is its streamline. And one of the main things, I did a lot of research on the racks, is you had to drill through the body of the Jeep, or some of them actually through the hardtop and into the roll bar for these full length. And some of those have these really big tubing pieces that come out of the front and increase your width quite a bit. I didn't like that. This is streamlined and there's no drilling. This just fits right on to the rain gutter, and this piece here, which doesn't make any noise, it's steel. I thought it might be an issue on the highway. It's not. And this just bolts on underneath your hardtop. You just have to loosen. There's 4 screws in here that you have to loosen to get that thing off. Yeah, these wheels, getting back to that, these are the 16 by 8 mammoths, beadlock style, 8-hole. I like those. Some people prefer the spokes. Either way, it was a great upgrade from those stock 17s. Again, it gives you more clearance and more sidewall. On the back, this is the other bumper that I have on here. And again, this gives you a lot more peace of mind. The stock bumpers are pretty worthless. This one gives you better departure angle and approach angle if you're backing up, more clearance, and it gets rid of that stock tire rack that is actually hanging on your door with the stock vehicle. This one puts it back on the bumper where it should be. So those are mods to the outside. I did a few things to the engine. I also put that stubby antenna on and got rid of the stock plastic hood latches. Underneath the hood, I put a K&N cold air intake and a throttle body spacer. And then, as I said, I'm running the Super Chips trail dash, which allows you to completely reprogram the computer, recalibrate it for larger tires, which gives you the better shift points. It sits right here, and I'll do a separate review on that. It's just there's just so many features I'd like to show you, but that was one of the best mods that I did. And all these mods I did really didn't break the bank. It's not too bad. I didn't go with super high end. Again, I'm using this as a daily driver more or less, and probably for about 15,000 total. Lift, tires, wheels, winch, bumpers, front end, a few things under the hood, and a few things on the interior. But